In Canada, this is my third job. BCIT has been the most important job in my life. It has taught me a lot. I'd always wanted to work in an academic environment. To me, education is an important part of one's life. By learning, you improve yourself and you also help improve the quality of life of other people. First of all, I had to understand where the student was coming from, the cultural background, and ensuring that that student felt comfortable coming into the dean's office to meet with the associate dean or the dean. My job was to ensure that the correct information was imparted to the student so that he or she felt that the problems were being solved at this level. Building camaraderie, first of all, with faculty, that really helped me because I understood where they were coming from, they understood my role, and we could help each other. BCIT has changed quite a bit from the time I started here. When I first started, it was not as highly accepted an institution as it is now. Now, BCIT, the word BCIT sells itself. I don't even have to say anything, but the moment BCIT is mentioned, people's eyes light up, think, oh, you work for a very fine institution, which is a polytechnic now. BCIT has been my second family. I've worked here the longest in my career. I always got the support and the love from the people I worked with because we understood each other, we made the time to get to know each other and to help each other out. It is important to know the people you work with because they are your second family. You spend a lot of time with them. Working for an academic institution, one should make sure that one keeps up with education. Education is a lifelong learning event. Education is a resource which helps people propel themselves in their own professions. You can utilize education in any part of your life, so it is the most important thing in one's career. I would certainly recommend that people keep up with the changes. It is important. Life is moving on very fast. Changes are coming on extremely fast. And in order to keep up with these changes, one has to understand the current situation and to be able to make sure that you meet up with the expectations of the younger people coming up through the ranks. It is the next chapter of my life. It is a retirement, but I wish to continue to learn so that I can use that intelligence, that education, and now perpetrate it into my volunteerism work. BCIT has been a wonderful employer to work with. I've really enjoyed my time here, and I would highly recommend people to come and work at BCIT. Thank you.
So for the last 20 years, I've been in post-secondary education. Started off with the Institute of Indigenous Government. That Indigenous aspect led me coming to BCIT. Well, essentially, BCIT chose me because I was so active with Indigenous education, and I had a mining background. So a fellow with the Chamber of Mines mentioned that this opportunity existed, so I applied for it, and I sort of walked in thinking, well, this is what I should do, and that's that. A background of good experiences. I seriously have yet to meet someone at BCIT who is a problem in dealing with. Well, I've seen it grow in numbers and modifications of buildings, but especially the growth, I think, is hidden in those computers. Because now that I'm retired and doing my research at home, I find that you have an entire library with one of those computers, so that when I look at the digitization, that the digital world that exists here, that is where the increase has been. It just enables us to do so much. It's been a positive experience for me. I had whenever I needed support, it was there. So my advice is, don't disparage the existence of supervision. It is really useful in your early years, and don't discount it. You find your passion and you create a highway to a wonderful life where work doesn't exist as work. It's something you look forward to, and accomplishment just happens along the side. Teaching part-time here and there, volunteering, having more time to spend in Indigenous culture and enjoying aspects of it that I didn't really enjoy or have the time to enjoy as much before, and travel. Well, I appreciate that this kind of project exists because all too often I've seen people retire and leave, and the connection is essentially a wall, whereas this is pretty heartwarming for me. And I think, as I mentioned, just the 5 minutes before I came here, I met two people who I was intimately involved in projects, and we had great discussions. So it's good to see that that bond can still exist post-retirement.
Well, I was never much of a student in a traditional classroom, so trades was a really good fit for me. When I started university, I decided that wasn't going to work for me at the beginning, and so I went in and did an electrician's trade, and then finished that and decided I'd actually go back and try university again. My mother was ill. I did 2 years, I did some commerce, and then I decided to go back and do another trade. So always enjoying growing, but in a different way. After I finished that, I really decided that I would like to teach some of what I knew. So that's really where I ended up at BCIT. I chose BCIT mostly because it had trades, and I wanted to teach in the trade, specifically the electrical trade. It gave me the opportunity to share what I had learned and to try to help others who maybe had difficulty learning with managing to cope. So that was a natural for me. With students, it's the seeing that some of them have actually come back and taught. There's a number of them in electrical that were students of mine. There was one that hadn't finished high school when he came through my class, got inspired, went back and got his grade 12 equivalent, went on and became an engineer through UBC, and ended up teaching here at BCIT. So that was fun with the staff, or with the students, pardon me. And with the staff, it's just the people that want to move things forward, that are open to new ideas, and really enjoyed working with them. The big area where I've seen growth that I think is really important is in academic quality, in the Barry Hogan's kind of area. That group in there, the way they've worked at helping people understand better course outlines, what course outlines mean, how to produce proper programs, how to review programs. I think that has really improved the quality of the education that takes place at BCIT. It's been very interesting. I've had lots of opportunity for growth at BCIT. I've had an opportunity to do 2 secondments where I went out and learned another perspective, an industry perspective on what we do. No shortage of ideas that I can grow on my own or work with others to grow. It's been a really good place for us, for people who want to try new things and do different things, that the opportunities are there. Yeah, the truly engaged people are the passionate ones, and quite often with passion comes emotion. If you can learn a little bit about emotional intelligence and how to temper that emotion, you'll find that people listen to you a lot better. That's been the biggest learning thing for me, and the most important one. Knowing where you're going to go in your career is not always, it's rarely there at the beginning for people, and don't worry about that. I'm going to look forward to not having so much to think about, to actually just focus on some of the things I like to do, to build some furniture, to get away from the rush and the constant worry about what am I forgetting that I need to be doing. So actually getting a time in my life where I don't have too much to think about other than just today is going to be really fun.